Hello again, and welcome to episode 23 of my Age of Wonders series. This is Vontos, and I am playing a co-op game with Bob from Black Arrow Gaming, whose channel I've linked to in the description. This episode, a lot happens, really, even though this is kind of a short episode. The big major things I didn't take very long. The one long battle I did have was a co-op battle that you can see on Bob's episode 23. Decided not to include it on my video because I didn't do a whole lot. Most of the enemy units did go and attack Bob's units in that battle. But some very important things still in my video. A couple important battles. And then I do have a lot of things to discuss at the end as a summary. Alright, first major important battle that happens. I caught Brown's leader. I was able to get one piece of my army embarked. I do have a cherub that I will bring in. Otherwise, it's just what other units I have that can fly or swim. I don't think I have any swimming units, just units that fly or float, I guess, that will be joining this battle. There you see not a whole lot of my units are getting involved, but there are some pretty strong ones, and this is a very, very important battle. It's worth taking on, I think. And since Brown doesn't have a throne right now, all I have to do is kill their leader, and the battle will end and they will lose. Actually wasn't thinking about that. Otherwise I might have done this first turn a little bit differently. But I do cast Chaos Rift, and ultimately that kind of handles things for me. I want to get my Shrines of Smiting out of range of those Lords of the Deep, since they could wreck me pretty well. And then I am going to put Paid Absolution on my Sorcerer Hero. He is still in the army that has Resurgence, but I don't think he gets Resurgence if the unit that gives him Resurgence isn't in the battle. I didn't check that. I should have checked it. But it doesn't matter because Chaos Rift hits their leader a couple times and kills them instantly. And with that, Brown is out of the game. They do have some independent units roaming around. They are not hostile, they're just plain independent. So I'll probably just ignore most of them unless I see one that I think I can convert. I do actually try to convert a mounted archer and end up getting one of my evangelists killed because of it. But now on to capture the mermaid cities, just some galleons in it. Or 2 galleons and a frigate, actually. They do quite a bit of damage, but don't kill anything. That hero has Resurgence, but since he's leading his army, once he dies, the rest of the units in his army would lose their Resurgence, so I would like to keep him alive. But since he was the only unit significantly damaged, I'm not too worried. I'm going to move the rest of my units forward and attack here. Those galleons can only fire their cannon every other turn, but the frigate can fire his ballista every turn, so I am focusing on it. Fortunately, I can't quite get it down low enough to take it out. Use Doomgaze since my Spirit Attack wouldn't damage it. Actually wasn't thinking, but I'm sure that hero does have more attacks that could damage that frigate. They don't show up on the main screen, but if I went into the list of his abilities, I could have found something and attacked with it. Magic Fist couldn't take the frigate out, so I decided to use it on a galleon instead. I forgot that I had Thunderstorm active. I probably should have used Magic Fist on the frigate and then hoped that Thunderstorm would have hit the frigate and finished it off. As it turns out, Thunderstorm didn't hit the frigate anyway, but still, that would have been the better move to make. Not a whole lot for this hero to move since he is slowed by his torso item. So I just heal himself. And then here's the Magic Fist. I think he does min damage, or close to minimum damage. Thunderstorm hits the galleons instead of the frigate. They do kill one of my units, but it will resurge. I think that was my halfling warlord hero. Now I just take these final units out. I think I get them all in this one turn. They of course can't retaliate when I hit them, so there's really no reason to not throw everything I have at them. Stunned that one. So now I'm going to go focus on the frigate, which I believe also gets stunned. So now they're both stunned. They can't do anything. Thunderstorm will finish them off, but I do want to get some experience for my units. So now I'm just checking which ones are the least promoted, and it's the Phalanx, only at gold medal rank. So now I've got the Mermaid City and can make Lords of the Deep of my own as soon as I get control of it. And now let's take a look at the map for right now. Overall, my plans are to consolidate my my fractured empire right now. You can see I've got Drazhar, which I was able to hold on to while we took out Brown and have done a lot of damage to Teal. That's really good news. I also captured this city up here, which I'll get to in a moment. The core of my empire is still right in here, and these two cities are weakly defended, but they are very strong. They are giving me a ton of resources. Ichweed right now giving me 215 gold and 300 production, and Thorsbud not nearly as much production in gold, but it is still a solid city. I have a settler, an orc settler from Ichweed heading up here, as has been my plan since very, very early on in the game. That will get me this Heart of the Volcano and Heart of the Arctic. If those haven't been cleared, hopefully Bob will clear them for me. He's got units in the area. He should be able to do that with no trouble. It's something I need to remind him to do in case he forgets after watching this video. Another settler, this is also orc from Ichweed. That one is going to come right here, rebuild this city. It's in the Arctic. It will be grumpy for a little while until this city's borders expand and I get that Heart of the Arctic. Thorsbud is a Draconian city. It is producing a Draconian settler. I'm going to send that probably, well actually I need to talk to Bob about it. I'd rather send it to this island city and rebuild it here, unless Bob really wants to get another elf archer city up there. If Bob does want that island city, then I'll probably just send it here to rebuild this city. Engranost is also building a settler. That settler will either it might be better if I rebuild this city as orcs and send my Draconian settler down here anyway. Otherwise, down here, this city might be kind of dangerous because TL has a lot of units in the area. I might need to send troops in there before I rebuild that. So it might be better if I come rebuild Halleck right here. Drazhar is also building a settler. That's going to come rebuild this city right here. So after my current settlers are done being built, I should be able to rebuild everything behind this line, really. And really that'll kind of be the edge of our empire. My army from Drazhar here is going to push to the west. It's going to make sure there's no enemy units here, so that's safe to rebuild. Then I'm going to come recapture Nipuk. assuming the enemy units in it aren't too strong. Bob and my units here are going to push up and recapture Illinois, and Bob has units going to get Las Emshin, and that will be the final battles, the final cities we need to get to have our borders at this line. My army here is going to hold this city to make sure I get full control of it. Then I will be able to build the Lords of the Deep here. Looks like 294 production. It will take at most 3 turns, I think, to build each one. Might be 2 if I'm lucky. That'll be really nice to add those to my armies, instead of having to fight against them. Then once I do get control of that, I think our army at Illinois will be able to kind of push this direction west, and those units will help hold this mermaid city, while my main army kind of goes south down here to make sure my settlers can come get these 2 cities. And then they will help clear out the rest of Teals and the rest of what are right now independent but might become Teals. All the cities that used to belong to Brown. We should be able to clear up north here with Bob's army and south here with my army, and then it'll just be a process of mopping up underground. Right here, this was my main underground army, went and cleared out this Brown city. There might be more cities up here, I don't know. I haven't had a scout up here for a really long time. If so, this army can take care of it. If not, it will push south and help rejoin my main fighting force. Said there was a lot to talk about. I guess there really wasn't a whole lot. There's a lot going on, but it's all pretty simple. It's just anywhere we have a strong army, clear out that entire area with that army, and then either capture and hold cities with it or send a settler behind it. I don't have anything going on underground right now. I do have this dragon city, but it's a vassal, and I'm planning on keeping it a vassal till the end of the game. There's not really enough time for me to build it up and start making dragons from it. Bob's plans are also pretty simple underground. Just capture any cities he finds. Teal had an army around here, but it looks like it pulled back. Once Bob's consolidated his hold down here, looks like he should have 10, 11, maybe even 12 cities, depending on what's up in this north. Then he can start pushing on Teal's land. He should have no trouble taking these cities out, taking these cities out, taking this city out. We actually will probably finish up clearing out the above ground before Bob's able to take all this out, just because we have more units up above ground. But we should, at about the same time, be ready to push underground after Teal's core, which is right in here. Right about the same time Bob's finished underground to push up into Teal's core there. I don't know how long that will take. It's right now turn 89. I think probably before turn 100 we should be ready to go underground and finish Teal off. He might surrender before then, actually, if we take enough of his cities. I have Armageddon researched in 4 turns. It will probably be less than that, actually, as I build cities and get control of other cities. I think Anthoria. Okay, I've just gotten control of Anthoria. So yeah, it'll probably be 4 turns that I will have Armageddon. Then I will cast that immediately, which will kind of neutralize Teal's Armageddon spell. I'm casting Domain of Corruption now. I'm going to put that on this city. Probably put Domain of Corruption on all the rest of these cities up here as I capture them and rebuild them. I think this one needs Domain of Corruption too. Once that's finished, Once I'm finished with all my domain of corruptions, then I don't know what I'm going to cast actually. I won't need gold at that point. I'm already getting a pretty healthy income and it will just grow and grow. Maybe Hallowed Domain, maybe Embrace Darkness. I don't know. Let's see. Anything else to research? I might do offensive spells actually. Start casting Denounce Cities on some of Teal's cities, putting Mark of Heretic. What's it called? Mark of the Heretic, putting that on all of Teal's armies. Wrath of God's not a great spell when you're, especially when you're fighting against a Theocrat. And since he has Armageddon cast himself, I could research and then cast the Great Purge. It's not that great for me, since yeah, I don't think Teal's really using any of those types of units. I guess I'll use most of my casting points on battlefield spells once I get Armageddon cast and get my Domain of Corruption and everything else that I need. I do have some nice battlefield spells. Let's take a look at that. Holy War is the main one I really like. It will give... Actually, since it gives all devout units, that probably means Teal's units as well, so that might not be a good route to take. Smite won't be very good against his units. I could do Disintegrates. I could put Rex on his Shrines of Smiting. But overall, I guess just buff my cities as much as I can. I think maybe I can put Paid Absolutions. No, owned by the caster. Looks like I can put Hallowed Domain on Bob's cities. That would be nice. I don't have a whole lot of spells I need to cast, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty simple from this point. Just wherever we have a strong army, clear out that area of the map. I guess maybe since I don't have a whole lot of stuff to cast, I can work on disjuncting Teal's Armageddon. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot of big, complicated strategic or tactical decisions to make at this point. If you have any suggestions for that, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We will be recording in a few days. Be sure to subscribe to catch our final few episodes if you have not. Once the series is over, I have a few plans on what I want to do. I'm not committing this channel to be just a gaming videos channel, but since most of you who have subscribed for Age of Wonders videos, I do want to do a couple more things that are Age of Wonders related, then maybe move on to Civilization 6 when it moves out, maybe stick with this game, I'm not sure there, but I will have some other video series that are not related to this game that may or may not interest you. But thank you for watching. Check out Bob's videos. If you haven't seen his already, you will be able to see the one big battle I fought, which was right around here against a pretty big Teal army. Hopefully the final Teal army that's in this area has now been taken out. We can kind of make a push together towards the west to finish him off. Thank you again, and I will see you in a couple